Hello, everybody, and welcome to the DudaCon 2025 keynote. I'm super excited to be here today. And with me, we're going to have Amir Glat and several of our team members from our product team. We're going to show you some amazing stuff, some of the newest features that we've been working on, and we're very excited to share those with you. So, Anton, can you bring up my slide deck? Thank you. Thank you. Okay, so who's going to be presenting here with me? As I mentioned, Amir Glat, Duda's co-founder and CTO. Also, Yonatan Shaham, Director, Group Product Manager at Duda. Liron Chorev, Website Product Leader. We'll also have Tal Levy, Product Manager, and Ronnie Shapiro, our VP of Engineering. So this is a very exciting time, and maybe also a little bit of a scary time with all the changes and transitionings that is happening. This is actually a turning point, not just for Duda and our agency customers or businesses worldwide. This is a turning point for everyone. The discoverability of small businesses is changing dramatically, and also the way that we build websites is changing. And if you think of what is a website, if it's the text that is in the website, it's images, it's videos, all that can be created today with AI. So what is our role as a web professional? What is the future for us? This is what we're going to talk about here a lot today. And it's really about how agencies need to evolve into this new world, how things like discoverability, automation, interactivity are the foundations for future growth. And we'll talk a lot about how Duda is here as your partner to empower you to create these next generation web experiences. So the session today is going to be divided mainly into these three sections. First, I'll talk about AI's role in SMB discoverability, a topic that I'm very fascinated by. The next topic will be AI-powered productivity tools for agencies. And here we'll share a lot of the new tools that are coming out or have just recently come out. And the last topic will be about making SMB websites more actionable. Anton, can you keep the slides on? Thank you. Okay, so diving into the first topic. Search is becoming more fragmented. It's no longer just about Google, right? There's many ways that consumers, small businesses are being discovered. And aside from, if it's on chat platforms, if it's changes that Google has done with AI overviews, AI mode, search is really fragmented, and that has maybe for the first time that I can remember in kind of the 2-3 decades that I've been working on, that such a significant change has happened in the market. Today, and this is information just from last year, about 60% of clicks of searches that are happening either in the Americas or in Europe are actually 60% are not leading to a website. Only 40% of the clicks are leading to websites. 60% are staying in either in the AI platforms or staying within Google to do more queries, more searches. So it means we're getting less traffic. And on the other hand, this is actually Duda's own data. What we can see, and that pink line, that graph that's going up and to the right, that's the rise of traffic coming to Duda's almost 1 million sites from ChatGPT. You can see a very meteoric rise. And I need to caveat it that it's still a fraction of the traffic that Google is sending to our 1 million sites, but it's pretty staggering just how fast and the amount of traffic that ChatGPT is sending. To a lesser extent, at this point, we're getting traffic from some of these other AI platforms. ChatGPT is still very, very dominant. But we need to remember, there's still a lot of searches that are happening on Google, and it's maybe 373x the amount of searches that are happening on ChatGPT. So if you are a small business today, you still need to have a very strong and viable strategy of getting users, getting traffic from Google. And also need to remember that ChatGPT, even with that graph that we showed, is not yet optimized for sending traffic to external websites, right? That traffic that we're getting is actually people who are they're writing the prompt, they're seeing the results, and the results are not sufficient for them. They are clicking through, they're going to the citations, and then clicking through to websites. So it still means websites are extremely important. But what I personally believe, and this is an example that I used for searching for restaurants in Boulder, what you can see is that ChatGPT gave me that map view and has put the locations of the best restaurants in Boulder on that map. So what I think is, as ChatGPT and some of these other platforms understand the intent of users, we will see a different experience on ChatGPT that lends itself to that intent, and hopefully will send more traffic to websites. Some of the other examples of here we can see on the right-hand side, AI mode, and ChatGPT also has some of these embedded links. So there's different ways for people to actually click on these links that lead to websites. An interesting comment from Eddie Q, who's a longtime executive at Apple. He said for the first time, and this was in May, for the first time, the traffic that on the Safari browser, the amount of searches that are going to Google has declined. And that happened for the first time in May this year. We're also seeing it in Duda. When we look at the amount of traffic that is coming from Google, it is no longer growing. It is actually slightly in decline. So even Google itself is sending less traffic. And this is because of the things that we talked about. It's not just because of ChatGPT. It's a lot about the things that we talked about, the AI overviews and AI mode. So there's a lot of reasons for why Google is keeping that traffic within their own assets. So how does that impact us? What does it mean for us as marketers? I think we need to be prepared for a world where a lot of the information about businesses is not learned on the site, is actually learned offsite. This is a very, I would say, simplistic view at a marketing funnel, right? We have at the top the discovery and then engagement, and then hopefully the leads convert to actual customers. So on the left-hand side, we have the old view of how the marketing funnel looked like. On the right-hand side, we have the new view. And there you see where a lot of that discovery, that first phase in light blue, happens actually external to our websites. It's happening on the AI platforms. It happens on AI overviews. So people do a lot of that research and discoveries there. And then, only then, when they are ready to make a purchase, when they're ready to spend more time, then they click over to your brand, to your website, and actually convert. So should we be worried about that? I think it doesn't help us to be worried about it. I think what we need to understand is, and we see that also from a lot of the websites out there, I think HubSpot as well talked about it, that even though traffic is declining to website, the amount of revenue still continues to increase that businesses are generating of their website. So what I think that means is that a lot of the traffic that is coming to website is coming with a higher intent and a higher likelihood to convert. Sorry. Sorry, moving on. So what can we do about it? A lot of the things in the new SEO world have not changed. You can see this overlap between the traditional SEO and the new AI search. There's still an overlap in the middle, which is all the fundamentals that we knew about and were important for search. If it's about authenticity, expertise, experience, trustworthiness, all the things that AI platforms care about, it's the same things that Google cared about, and they still continue to be very, very important. So a lot of things that we did, we should continue doing, because that's where it differentiates between machine-generated content and what people do, and where people have unique viewpoints. And that's what people want to read. Also, Duda's here and has your back. We're investing a lot in the things underneath the hood that are important for these AI platforms. Just a second. We invested in integration with Index Now to support fresh new content on ChatGPT. So every time your website gets updated, we notify Index Now, and that lets the ChatGPT crawler makes him aware that the content has been updated. We make sure that your sites load fast. You know that Duda does very well in terms of Core Web Vitals, and we continue to make sure that the sites load fast, which again, super important for AI crawlers. We automatically generate sitemaps for content discoverability. We have an integration with Google Search Console to help with indexing for Google. And we make sure that the sites, we use server-side rendering, meaning that all the HTML is available for the content, for the crawlers to index very easily. And last thing is we create a lot of schemas. If it's local business schema, FAQ schemas, and product schemas for LLMs to understand the content on your website. Last thing, one of the things that we're really excited to announce today is that we are releasing the automatic generation of LLM.txt. So it's the same, very similar to that robot.txt file that you're used to from the traditional SEO. We're now generating LLM.txt files that are already in use by platforms like Claude and Cursor. And from what we're being told, a lot of the other AI platforms are going to support them very, very soon. So this is the file that explains to the crawlers the structure of your website. So the role of the website, while it's evolving, will continue to stay as important than ever. Websites remain the anchor of a brand's identity, credibility, and conversion funnel, and the source of authentic and trustworthy content for LLMs. But now Duda also takes care to make sure that the data is structured and in schemas for the crawlers to read. Lastly, Duda helps SMB websites be found. Just a second. Okay, so let's move to the next section. What's next for agency and AI for productivity? If discoverability is how we win, productivity is how you scale profitably. Duda's AI journey started a couple of years ago. As soon as OpenAI released ChatGPT in November 22, we were right at it, and we started developing our first AI assistant. Initially, it was a writer assistant, and we released it a couple of months later in May 23. By August 23, we released our AI SEO assistant, which is one of our most popular assistants. In between April and November of last year, we released our AI-generated sections and pages. And in February 25, you were also already able to create full sites with AI and AI-powered content collection forms. Today, 45% of all new site builds on Duda are using at least one of Duda's AI assistants. So what's coming next? Today, I want to introduce 3 new capabilities. One, create a site from file, which allows you to upload a PDF or a Word doc, and that will be turned automatically by our assistant into a site. Number 2, we are going to we're releasing AI Widget Builder, which allows you to create native Duda widgets without needing to know how to code. And number 3 is an agentic AI and MCP server that allows you to create sites and maintain sites externally to Duda from tools like Claude, Cursor, and others. So for the first create site from file, I want to invite Tal Levy to show us our first demo. Hey Tal, how are you?
Hi everyone, can you see me?
Yes, we can see you well.
Okay, great. So I'm really excited to be here. My name is Tal, I'm a product manager at Duda, and I'm going to share with you two different AI features that are coming very soon to the platform and will help you with all of your content creation. So just a few months ago, we started to speak with different, can you see my screen?
I don't think we can see your screen yet. Tal, did you do the present screen?
Yeah.
Okay, let's give it another try. Can you, yeah, something's coming up. Yeah, now we can see it.
Okay, great. So a few months ago, we started to speak with a lot of agencies about their content creation process and to understand how we can make it much more efficient. And if I have to summarize it into only 4 steps, it begins with an interview with the client. You need to learn about their business, understand what is their offering, what is their unique value, and what they want their website to actually achieve. So then you summarize it into a brief, so you have it documented for yourself and that you can share it with the team that's going to work on the website, so they can prepare the design and the relevant content. Based on that, the content is crafted, and there can be many different tools that you use to actually create the content and collaborate on it, whether it's different AI tools like ChatGPT and Claude, and maybe you even have your own custom GPTs already integrated into your workflow. You have different SEO tools to allow you to understand which keywords you should target, making sure the content actually converts, and then maybe different collaboration tools, because you want your clients to review the content in Google Doc and make some comments before you actually build the website or share it with your team members. And then when it's finally crafted and prepared, you start to build the website on Duda. And even there, you have different tools that allow you to create a website, whether it's using your own custom template to kind of recycle the same layouts and design, or maybe build it widget by widget on a blank website, or even generate a site today. So for every agency, the process is actually very different, and everyone uses a different set of tools to create the content and prepare for it. But there is something that is common among everyone, and that is that you need to eventually import that content that you created into Duda, make sure that it's presented on the design. So that's really aligned also with the data that we see. 65% of the text changes on websites today in Duda are done using copy-paste. So what we want to do is really allow you to continue to work the way that you want to work with any tool that you'd like and in any workflow that works for you, but faster. That's why we're introducing today 2 new features that will allow you to transform a text file, whether it's with prepared content or whether it's with just a high-level brief, into a beautiful website on Duda. So I'm going to share with you now a document that has content for 5 different pages for a site called Bloom Gardening. So you can see here, the website has a homepage, about us, services, upcoming workshops, and contact us. The document actually details what exact content should go on the website, meaning we need to design something in Duda and then import all of that content in. It's a lot of clicks and a lot of going back and forth between that document and the platform. And we want you to allow you to focus in one workspace. So moving to Duda, Here you can see a site that I already started to build. I started from the hotel template, maybe you're familiar with it, and I already swapped out all of the images on the site using the media panel by just dragging and dropping in images. So just like that. Now I want to do this with text as well. So I don't have to go back and forth between that document and the website, and I can just see it side by side. So let's look at the new feature that is going to be released very soon. I will go to the content library, open the site text, and here I will have a new option to upload my content file. I will upload the file that I just showed you, Bloom site content. And I will specify that this document has content for multiple pages. Now I will allow AI to analyze it and make sure that all of the pages are broken down into different documents so that I can see the content per page in a side-by-side to my design in this panel. It will take a few more seconds, and then we'll see what we can do with it. Okay, great. So now I can see that it analyzed correctly all of the 5 pages: home, about us, services, our workshops, and contact us. I can navigate between the pages to view the content of each one. And then, as you can see, all of my text on the canvas are still from that template of the hotel, and I want to update it to the one of the gardening. So I can just drag and drop to replace the content very easily. I don't need to go back to the document in Google Docs and highlight the content, copy paste it inside. I can just view it within the editor and replace quickly all of the text on my website. It's so efficient. Now it can be the different blocks that are highlighted, but I can also just partially select some text and drag it in. As you can see, it's also maintaining the same design as the widget. We're not changing it for you since that's how you wanted it to look like. But if there is some formatting, we will maintain that, so you don't have to change it in the widget, like these italics. So I can continue to do this. And of course, not every template will be the same exact structure as your content. So if, for example, you have something missing and you need to add a new widget, instead of going to the widgets panel, adding a new text widget, and then pasting in the content, you can just drag and drop it in, and it will add the widget in the same heading as specified in the document. So if this is an H2, it will also be added as an H2. And if I'm going to add that paragraph below, it will be added as a paragraph. So I can quickly just go through all of the content, and it will be just so much faster than, again, going back and forth through that document and the editor. So in this case, I had a template that had a kind of a similar design to what I wanted. I could just maybe change the layout a bit, duplicate a few sections and columns, replace the media and the text, and voila, I have a website. But sometimes, in some cases, I don't have a template or an existing website that I can replicate and use to create a brand new website to accommodate that content that I prepared. So let's take a look at another example. Here you have content for Surfer 97, they're a surfing club. So again, I have 5 different pages with content, and now I don't have a better starting point like I did with the other template, and I need to create a custom design for me. So this brings me to the other feature that we've created, Start from File. So a new option will be added for you in the dashboard. And when you click on it, you'll notice the very similar pop-up as before, where I can upload a file. I will upload this Surfer 97 file. And now I will have 2 different options to choose from. So the first option will tell us that you would like us to extract the content from that document and use it as a base for a generated site. So this is very useful if you have a high-level brief that kind of details what the business is about, what are the services, target audience, the contact details maybe mention a few page names that should be in the website. And it will use all of those details to generate a site based on the context that was provided. But the other option is what I'm going to use now, and that's to really generate a design and preserve all of the text in the site, in the document that were specified. So it's basically generating a layout that can accommodate that content. I will again specify that this file has multiple pages and let AI analyze it. To begin with, it's only going to really just analyze the business name and the type, and kind of provide me a brief that I can review to make sure that it got all the information correctly. Then I will be able to just modify it if necessary or continue to generate my site. So in a second, it will appear in the wizard and we can see what it understood. So we see that it got the name correctly, Surfer 97, and it's a surf school and community. Great. I can continue to just go through this brief and see that it got all of the information correctly. And again, I can just go next. I can upload a logo and use even a customized color palette based on it, or I can choose from my presets. I will go with the blue since it's very suitable for surfing. And I will choose this font set. And okay. So now it's continuing to analyze the file and really understand what pages it contains. And then for each page, it's going to break it down into different sections, like hero, about us, team, testimonials, contact us, everything that is found on the page. For every one of these sections, it's going to really look for the best fitting section layout that we have in Duda, so we can build a layout that can accommodate that content. In a second, it will show me the breakdown of all of the pages, and we can see whether it got it correctly. Great. So I see the home page, about us, contact us, our classes, and services, just as we specified in the file. For each one of these pages, the sections will load in a bit. We can review whether it got it correctly and whether we need to fix anything. In the sitemap, I can also just move sections around if I want to, so I don't have to go page by page. I just have a good overview of all of the pages and sections. I can delete or duplicate sections, and as well for the same pages. I can go through the names if I want to rename anything now. And yeah. So I see that all of my site is generated, and based on what I know from the file, this looks very accurate. Let's look at the design. So now I see that it generated a really nice looking design, but I want to make sure that it actually covers all of the content that I have in the file. So here in the left panel, I can see all of the text that was extracted from the file, specifically for the homepage that I'm viewing now. So I can see that the hero has the exact text here on the left. So this is good. If we continue, we can see in the services, again, 3 different items and the title and description. We can see 3 different testimonials with the title, exactly the same text, a call to action section, just as specified, and then 4 different FAQs. So it looks pretty good and accurate. And if I want to make some slight modifications, I can do so here, and I can, of course, just do it later on in the editor as well. So if I am not satisfied with this maybe specific hero layout, I can go to the sections panel and browse through all of the hundreds of sections that we've designed for you. I can select something that I like better, like this one, and now it will change the layout of that specific section, but maintain the same content that I provided. So it's just trying different designs without working too much. And if I don't like maybe this video, I can just regenerate it for that specific section. all of these actions I can do both on a section level and also a page level. So again, if I don't like the entire design of the page, I can just regenerate the page and it will change all of the layout, but still maintain that content that was extracted from the file. And if I don't like any of the images and the videos, I can also just regenerate it on the page level. I can also review all of the prompts that actually built each section and make some slight modifications if I want to the content. So if I'm satisfied, again, I can continue to review the rest of the pages that were also built for me, of course. But I can also just continue to the editor with the homepage and review those pages later. We can also see that the About Us looks pretty good and on spot. But let's continue with the homepage and we can deal with it later. So now in the editor, again, if I want access to those texts that were exported from the file, I can just go to the content library as I showed you before, and they will all be here so I can continue to compare or make some edits. And that's it. So thank you, everyone, and back to you, Itai.
Quick question for you. When is this going to be available for everyone?
So it's going to be launched very soon. I can say that even next week, a lot of the users will already be receiving it in production, and we'd love to hear the feedback.
Okay. And just to make sure, what file types are supported?
So any text file is supported: PDF, Word, TXT, Markdown. I highly recommend to use Docs just because it gives the best results, but any text file is possible.
Cool. And I'm sure a lot of people are asking, can I generate a website based on the transcript of a call that I do with a client? Is that a possibility?
Yeah, so we've even tested that option and it works pretty well. So I think you can even make your content creation process even faster by just exporting that transcript from the initial interview and showing the client something initial just to get them excited. And then, of course, you can continue to make those fixes and adjustments.
Awesome. I'm sure I see already a lot of excitement here on the chat from people seeing this feature. So what's planned next?
Well, there's a lot. We're not stopping here when it comes to content creation, and there's a lot that we're already working on that's coming next. I won't say much, but it's very exciting.
Okay, cool. We'll stay anxious to see what comes up next. So thank you, Tal, for the time and the amazing demo. Super exciting.
Great. Thank you so much. Okay. Bye, everyone.
Cool. Next, I want to invite Roni Shapiro, Duda's VP of Engineering. And Roni is also going to show us some really exciting stuff related to the AI widget builder.
Hi, Ty. How are you? Thank you. So yeah, I'm really excited about this one. We've worked on this quite a lot, and it is exciting. So AI for the widget builder. So if you're not familiar with the widget builder itself is not a really new feature, but we've added some really nice enhancements to it. So if you're not familiar with the widget builder, the widget builder allows you to build your own widgets and put them in the left panel. If you're familiar with the HTML widget, imagine something much more powerful. You can. It's a full development platform. You can write JavaScript, CSS, HTML. You can put it in your left panel and reuse it across all your sites. The cool thing about it, you can configure design and content tabs and put in dynamic content and design. So it's a really powerful feature. It comes in with a versioning mechanism and management, so you can really control what you're doing. We've seen it used quite a lot over the past few years. We've seen customers use it to build very specific widgets with a specific design. So if you don't like our list widget and you want something for yourself, you can build something really custom. We've also seen a lot of integrations to all kinds of external services, weather, stocks, and all kinds of vendors and providers. And we've seen a lot of much deeper integration into data. So working with our JavaScript API to pull data from collections, from stores, from content library, building filters and building all sorts of dynamic views on top of data. So we've seen quite a lot of different use cases. But to be honest, the widget builder has quite of a learning curve. First of all, you need to learn how to code. Then you need to learn a little bit about the Duda documentation, how to style widgets correctly, how to use the API. So there is some learning to do. But now with the era of AI, it became so easier. So what we've done is we've trained our own specialized coding AI agent to build widgets for you. So basically, with a very simple prompt, you can build very strong and rich widgets you can publish and use without even writing a single line of code. The nice thing about it is it's not like a generic AI coding tool. It's really specialized on the Duda ecosystem and platform, so it already knows all of the Duda documentations and internals. So it's really made for that, and it does a really nice work. And even if you're already familiar with the widget builder and you already build a handful of widgets, it will be a huge time saver. So I'm going to stop with the slides and just jump right in for the demo. So the widget builder can be found under custom assets. So here is my widget dashboard. I can see all of my widgets, their status, their versions, and even some stats about installations. And when I click on build a new widget, I have this new option that came a few hours ago to beta, build with AI. So I'm going to click on it. I'm going to give my widget a name. I'm going to start building. And when I go into the widget builder editor, I have this new chat coming up. I'm going to close it for a minute just to go over the tool for those who don't know it. So here I write my HTML code. It's not really HTML. It's handlebars or mustache. It's kind of like a template engine where I can inject variables so I can make my widgets dynamic and not with static content. JavaScript to make my widget interactive, and CSS to make it look nice. And if I also want to design content and design tabs, I can add in inputs like texts and drop downs and all kinds of options. And each one of these inputs has a variable where I can later use in my HTML or JavaScript to create dynamic widgets. And in the design, I can also allow design options like rounded corners and all of the other design options you are already familiar in Duda. But now I'm not going to do anything manually. I'm gonna hit the AI assistant, and I'm gonna build something that we don't have yet. So I'm gonna choose a video gallery. There is a prompt. I'm gonna let it already start thinking. And basically what we're doing is we can feed the AI assistant a prompt. We can also upload an image if we already have some design ready. And what the AI assistant will do is it's going to create a plan on how to build that widget. It's going to analyze the prompt, and based on everything it knows about Duda, it's gonna build a widget for me. So it's gonna outlay the HTML structure, the CSS styling, the JavaScript, content, and design. And the cool thing about it is we've trained it based on what we know as the best practices. So the widgets come out of the box responsive, SEO friendly, accessibility, performance, all of the stuff we've learned over the years. We've trained this AI assistant, so widgets should be fairly functional from day one. So we're going to give it another second or two. And yeah, we got the results. I'm going to close it and see what we have. So nothing in the design yet, but when I click on the HTML, I already see some code generated for me. So I can see we have like a loop over videos. It's a gallery, so I need more than one. There is some divs, a source. This is going to be my video element, a title, date, and no JavaScript yet, CSS. And in the content, this is how variables are going to be set in. So I have this list component, and for each list item, there is a title, a date picker, and a video picker. And let's see how this widget looks. I'm going to hit preview. And yeah, we can see a pretty nice video gallery. When I click on it, I can see that it's hopefully it's functional. I'm going to select a video for the first one. I'm gonna set the title, video number 1. Let's make sure the second, all of them work as well. So okay, looks pretty neat. It's pretty functional with the prompt within 3 minutes of work, but maybe I want to make it a bit richer. There are almost no design options. So I'm going to close the preview. I'm going to go back to the widget builder, and I'm going to try to enhance it a bit. So I'm going to ask it, add design options so I can style my title and dates. So now what it's going to do is going to analyze it again. And the AI assistant doesn't only remember like the history of the conversation, it also has the full context of the widget code, so it can learn it and extend it, which also means you can use the AI assistant on existing widgets to make them better, which is really, really cool. So here's the plan it came up with, and it's done. So let's see what it came up with. So now in the design editor, I see 2 components for text styling. One is targeting the video title. The other one is targeting the video date. These are the same selectors I hope to see in my HTML. So looks like it does a pretty decent job. Let's make sure it's actually working. So now when I click on design, I see these 2 new design components. When I click on font color, I see the font changed. You can make underline. Let's verify the date is working as well. We can change the font family. We can change the color. We can also, of course, choose one of the theme colors. So basically, it did a pretty good job. Let's try one more thing. Let's try to add a button for each video item. Let's say we want every video to link to one of the pages we have to get some more information. So again, it analyzes the prompt. It already knows all the code, and it should know exactly where to put it. But a button is a bit trickier because we want the buttons to look exactly like any other buttons of the site. It shouldn't invent like something very custom. I hope these buttons will look like any other button. And Duda has documentation on how to do it. And this is where the AI is pretty smart. It uses the Duda-specific HTML documentation to generate these buttons. So now when I hit preview, I will see a button that is styled as most of the Duda buttons, exactly like the Contact Us. And if it's even smarter than that, it also added a link picker that for each item, I can link this video to a page. So not a bad job for 5 minutes of work. I think before the AI era, it probably would have taken me a day at least, and I'm pretty handy with the widget builder. So once I'm ready, I can hit publish, and this will be available to all my sites. When I go to general, I can make this widget available to all my team. I can upload an icon, and just to close the loop, I'm going to go to the home page, click on one of the sites, and yeah, I have this widget in my left panel. So yeah, pretty good for 5 minutes and a single prompt. So I think that's it. Back to you, Itai.
Lonnie, this is absolutely amazing. I'm sure we're going to have a lot of people here that are listening into this. Maybe folks that up until today were not that comfortable with code that can now go ahead and play around with it and start building widgets on Duda.
Yeah, definitely. I can't wait to see what our creative customers will come up with.
Cool. So when is this going to be available?
So the widget builder was available only to our custom plans up until today. Since starting today, a few hours ago, this AI assistant came out of beta. And since it's much more, let's say, accessible to all our customers, we've made this available to agency and white label plan as well. So this is starting from a few hours ago, right now.
Wow, that's getting Christmas early. What exciting news. So thank you, Ronnie, and I'm sure there's so many other things that you could have shown us that can be built, but we'll let people discover themselves.
Yeah, sure. Thanks, Itai.
Yeah.
Pleasure.
Okay, for the last part of this section, and also a very, very exciting demo, we're going to have Amir Glatt, Duda's co-founder and CTO. Hey, Amir, what's up?
Hey Ty, I'm good. How are you?
Yeah, so after Ronnie's demo, it's going to be difficult to up the bar. Are you ready for that challenge?
So the bar is pretty high, and the Widget Builder AI is a project that is close to my heart. But I will try to do my best with the next demo.
Okay, so take it away.
Great. So can everyone see my screen?
Yeah.
Okay, great. So the next topic that I want to talk to you about is agentic AI and MCP server. So before going into a demo, let's talk a little bit what is agentic AI. So obviously, AI, as we all know, in the last 3 years, made a lot of progress. We started with what we call traditional AI, one-shot response to a prompt, mainly asking questions, asking a chat questions and getting answers. Then it went into assistive AI, step-by-step help. I think some of our early AI features of Duda, generating image alt text or generating text, was a good example of that. And now the world is going towards agentic AI, which is like a self-directed loop. You have a goal, you have a plan, and then you act and adapt, and you let AI to do a lot of things for you, not just one action. And part of agentic AI was to allow AI tools to actually do things on top of systems. And there was a lot of debate in the industry, what's the best way to give AI or LLMs the permission to do things on top of systems. And then came the concept of MCP and MCP servers. So what is MCP? MCP stands for Model Context Protocol. It's an open standard that allows AI tools to securely connect to external platforms and resources. You can really think about it as API for LLMs, for AI clients. And MCP, it came up from the company behind Claude, Anthropic. But then quickly afterwards, other companies, other leading companies like the idea and are going to support it. Here you can see a post from Sam Altman, the CEO of OpenAI, and ChatGPT that they're going to add support to it. It's already supported in Cursor and others. So great. So we have this protocol, and Duda, we jumped on the opportunity to introduce that, and now I'm going to introduce the Duda MCP server, which is really putting the power of AI to work for your business directly from Claude, Cursor, and beyond. So Duda's MCP server makes it possible for AI tools to take real action on the Duda platform. So you can work smarter, you can save time, you can differentiate your offering and stay in control because you can do so much directly from AI clients. And maybe I'll just gonna show you how it works. So first of all, starting also today, I talked before about Christmas coming early. So another thing is that if you go today to your account settings page on Duda and you're on agency plan and app, you will see at the bottom of the page a section that is called Model Context Protocol. And here you will see the URL of the Duda MCP server. You take this URL, you copy it, and then you install it on the tool that you want to use with. If it's Claude, if it's Cursor, soon I think it will be also available in ChatGPT, and you can start working on it. Now I did it already, and I want to show you how it works. So let me open my Claude. This is Claude. For those of you who are not familiar, it's very similar to ChatGPT, AI chat that can do lots of stuff. What I did before, I installed the Duda MCP, and when you can see that here, if I'll go here and show you the different tools, there is a tool called Duda. This is the Duda MCP, and we have 60 different tools or capabilities that Duda is basically providing together with this MCP that allows you to do so many things on your Duda platform. So let me start to show you like few of the stuff that we can do. So let's say first now for the first part of this demo that I work on an agency and I'm responsible for SEO, content creation, e-commerce store management for our clients. So I can start asking things. So I can start with a question like, show me the last Duda sites I created. So now Claude will try to answer this question, and it will use the Duda MCP. It will decide which tool from Duda to use. You see, it chose to use the list sites tool. Now it's getting information from Duda and can respond. So these are the most recent sites that I have. You can see all those sites. And for this demo, we want to work on the pet store demo site, which is a pet store site that I created before from a Duda template, nothing special about it. So now, let's say that I want to now manage content and the blog for this website and have a new blog post published for the pet store demo. So I can ask Claude something like, does site has a blog? And it will check if we have already a blog up and running on this website. It's checking list blog posts to see if like there is a blog available, and it's saying yes. The site has a blog, and these are the current posts that we have. Top tips for traveling with your dog care on a budget. Great. Now, let's say that I want now to research which blog posts I should write. So based on the current posts and trends for dog owners, suggest few blog post ideas. So now this is not related to Duda. I'm just like now using like the power of AI tool for that. So it's searching the web and let's see which type of ideas it can suggest to me. Okay, based on current trends on your existing blog post, here are a few trends: mental health and enrichment, DIY dog enrichment activities, is your dog anxious, 10 calming enrichment activities that actually work, and so on. And I can just choose. So let me just copy this idea. And now I can say, create a blog post, publish it, and give me the URL. The topic should be make the post short but engaging, and use few images in the post. All right, so now it's going to create the blog post for me. So just think about it, you as kind of like agency owners, if you are offering content services and SEO services, how much more easily it can be for you to provide those services using such a tool. So you can really automate the entire thing. And of course, you can provide more information and more how to make it like, to rank higher, which keywords, which topics to cover, and so on. And you don't need to work hard to do that. It can really like do it for you. You can see it's now calling the create blog post tool from Duda. It's generating like the content, and great, the blog post has been created. Let me publish it. Now it's publishing the post for me. You can really understand what does it mean agentic AI in this context. And perfect, it did it. Here is the URL. We can check the URL. Let's see. So I can take the URL and go to my browser over here and see what it did. Oops, something is wrong with the URL. Okay, it's a demo. Oh, he added a blog here that is not needed. He was wrong with the URL. Let's try like that. Okay, great. Is your dog anxious? And it's creating like, a blog post for me that I can later on kind of like continue and edit. So that's great. So we saw how like to create like, blog posts. Now, let's say that I want to manage my store here and make sure that like my prices are correct. So let's say I can ask, show me the products of my site. So we have a great integration with Duda native e-commerce here. you can see that it's now listing like the store products. So it will show me all the different products that I have on my pet store website. And here I got like, these are the products that we have. We have sleep categories with those products, walk category, play category, and product summary. Now let's say that we want to put like the play category items on sale. So I can ask, can you put the play category products on sale, give them 25% discount. Okay, so now it will go product by product inside the play category and just change the prices for them. And think about it, like I could do now things, I'm not doing it now in the demo, but I could do things like research, what's the best prices compared to competitors. I can add more products. I can optimize like, product descriptions. So I can do really like lots of stuff. There you see it's doing it. It's updating like the price for the products that we have. We will give it some time to run. And then let's see if it did a good job. So these are all the products in our play category, updating each of them one by one. It can work. While it's working, you can do something else, of course. Perfectly, successfully put all the product on sale. It's giving me all the information in a really, really nice way. And yeah, it's done. So if I'll go to my site and go to the store, this is like the play category, I should be able to see that each product is now discounted by exactly 25%, which is really cool, making managing a store much easier, and I can do all of that. Great. So now let's go here and start a new chat. And this time, now I'm not anymore like the SEO and content specialist. Now let's say that I'm running the site and I want to see statistics and sales data. So I have a site, actually it's my friend's site called Speed of Sound, that is selling speakers and microphones and headphones. It's pretty successful, selling quite a lot. And now I want to know, for example, how much money I did. So I can ask something like, for my Duda site, Speed of Sound, COIL, how much money I made yesterday. So now what Claude will do, it will use our tool to get orders, store orders. So first is getting the site details to find out what's the information behind Speed of Sound COIL. He found it. Now it's listing the store orders to get orders information, and will try to give me an answer. And think about that. You can do it for store orders. You can do it for site stats, visits. You can do it for site activities. You can do it for form responses. So any type of data and analytics data that Duda is providing, you can do it using our MCP server. And here I got a really great result that my friend made 3,000 shekels yesterday, and these are the orders that he got. And I can ask for more reports and so on. So I can really take it more and more. So now let's do another demo. I'll start a new chat. And now what I want to show you is now I'm not anymore the site owner. Now I'm an operations manager in an agency. So operations manager that needs to take care of the operation of getting orders of new clients, creating sites for them, getting them the permission to access the site and edit and so on. So now I want to show you the power of connecting several MCP servers together. I showed you before that I added Duda MCP server, but I also added Jira. So for those of you who don't know Jira is like a Monday or like Asana. It's a project management tool. And here is my Jira. And I'm managing, in my agency, I'm managing clients through Jira. And you can see here I have a board and I have two tasks that are in to-do status. So the first one is create a plumber website for this client. It's a new client that we got. And the second task is create a photographer website for this client. So, and now what we want typically is to create those webs, to find the right templates, create a website for the clients, assign them a site, get them a welcome URL, updating the Jira board, all of this work that like I'm sure that some of you are doing on a daily basis. So now let's see how MCP is helping us. So now I'm just going to copy the instructions that I have that I prepared before, and I'll let it run. And while it is running, I'll explain you what I'm asking. So I'm asking Claude to go over the items in my Jira project that is called Amir's Customers. And for each item, I want to decide which Duda template is most suitable based on the vertical, to create a Duda site based on the template, to create a client based on the customer email, to assign the client to the site, to create a welcome URL, to add a comment with the site alias and welcome URL to the client, and to set the task to done in Jira. So all of that, imagine what does it mean to do all of that today. It's either like you're working manually and this is a lot of work for just a single one, or you need to like have developers building on top of APIs, expensive project. And it's also like anytime that you want to make a change, you need like to ask the developer to spend more time. So now I can just like, write it in plain English and let like, the MCP run. So it's doing it. Look what it's doing. It's like kind of like it's looking at the Jira project. It found the tasks, is checking list templates of Duda to see which template is best. Is going to create a photographer website, creating a site for it, creating the client account, granting site access, creating welcome URL. Now it's adding comment to Jira, and then marking the task as done in Jira, doing all of that for me. And once it will finish like the first site, it will just move. Yeah, now it's moving like to the next one, to the plumber website. So now I'm just like showing here like 2, but imagine that you have, I don't know, 50 of those. It can just like do it for you and run for you in the background. And while it's doing like the second site, let me go back to my Jira and just refresh it. And we can see that the first task is already done. And if I'll open it, I can see that like it added a comment that the site created successfully. This is the site alias. This is the welcome URL that now I can send to the client to go and edit the website. This is the template that you decide to use. And this is like the client account. And indeed, if I'll go like to this site alias and I'll go to my Duda dashboard and search for it. So I can see here that like, indeed a site was created for a photography that I can now, I don't know, move to design or to the next step. And it's all working great for me. And now we also like, finished like, the second site, and it was all automated. So going back to the presentation. Really with the Duda MCP server, it allows you to empower every role with AI. So it's great for operation teams, like I showed you. It's great for support reps who needs to get like, information and send them like, to the client. It's great for marketers and content teams that can create pages and blog posts and business updating content library and business information. It's great for site owners who wants to get analytics and so on. So everyone can enjoy it, and it's available today for all of you from agency plan and up, and you can all use it today. So this is available today. But now I just want to show you something very cool that we are working on and going to be available for all of you in several weeks, which is the Duda Copilot. So when we looked at all of that, we said, okay, this is amazing, but we think that like many of our users would like to use those type of capabilities within the Duda platform without using an external tool like Claude that I showed you today. So that's exactly what we are doing. And let me just give you like a very sneak peek on like, what we are working on. So let me copy here. Oopsie. Where am I? Okay. So now let me just copy this link here and go to the site overview of the site that we just like were working on the pet store demo. So here, what you can see now is that I have here this new icon, similar to what you saw before in the widget builder demo. And when I open it, it opens like a chat interface that allows me to do everything you saw before and more. So first, it's like it knows the context because you're inside Duda, so it already knows what is the site that we are talking about here. You don't need to provide to them. Second, in terms of like, you don't need to install anything. It's part of like your Duda platform. You just log into Duda and you have it. And you can do different things. So I'm just going to show you like, two things. First, I can ask it like, what can you do? And it will now think for a second and give you kind of like, the list of like all the things that it can do for you. So here we can we get like a great summary. This is a dynamic summary. Whenever we'll add more capabilities, this will be updated as well. So you can see it can help you with website creation and setup, with content management, with design and layout, with blog and news management, with e-commerce, with SEO and analytics, client and team management, site publishing, forms and leads, and also advanced features. So really a lot of stuff. One last capability that I want to show you here is ability to use collections. So for those of you who know collections, this is a great way to display a lot of dynamic content, but it takes time to build it. So let's say that now in my pet store demo, I want to show, to create a dynamic page showing different type of dog breeds with information about them, and maybe like what type of food like is better for them and what type of toys and so on. So what I can do here, I can just ask something like that. Create a collection about dogs breeds that I will later display in a dynamic page and fill it with 5 rows of data. So now AI is going to do it for me. So it's going to create an internal collection for my site and fill it with data. So let's typically it takes like, I don't know, a few seconds to run, but it will do all of that for me. And here it is. Your dog breed collection has been created with the following fields: name, image, description, country, and so on. And everything is done. It gives me like now contextual buttons to do that, to see what's happening. And if I'll click here now on edit site, it will take me to the editor. And if I'll go now here to the content and collections, now I'll see like the dog breeds with 5 items that was filled for me. And of course I could give him like, more exact information to do that. So it's really saving so much time from here. To show it on a dynamic page is a piece of cake. So we are working on it on the Duda AI Copilot. We're going to launch first in the dashboard and the site dashboard later, and soon after it will be launched also like in the editor. We are going to add more capabilities, design capabilities, content capabilities. And my assumption is that, let's say, in a year from today, all of you will say, how could I work before I had like the Duda AI Copilot? It's going to be addictive. So that's it. And back to you, Itai.
Amir, thanks. That was amazing. And and I, by the way, while you were doing it, I already went and I decided what I'm going to get you for Christmas. It's going to be a coffee maker with APIs, so you can get your agentic AI to also brew your coffee at the end of all these things. So I already know what you're getting. Anyway, that was simply fantastic. So I think you covered you covered a ton of stuff. There were some questions. Again, can you clarify which clients today support the MCP?
Yeah, so Claude is supporting the MCP. Just want to say that like the free version of Claude will not take you a lot because like it's pretty limited in terms of how much it can use, but the paid version is great. Cursor is supporting the MCP, which is working great. For those of you on custom plans, you can use the token and use it with API, OpenAI API, if you want to build your own application or anything like that. And we know that like both Gemini and ChatGPT are working on it, and it's going to be supported soon on those platforms as well.
That's great. Well, Emil, thank you very much. That was like super, super exciting stuff.
Great. Thanks, Itai, and good luck with the rest of the presentation.
Okay. Anton, can you put my slides back? Okay. Cool. So switching kind of to section 3 in the presentation. You know that Duda has been pushing kind of the narrative of transactional websites, where we strongly believe that today's websites have to be transactional. They have to be driving real ROI, real value. We believe in websites that take payments, websites that are selling products or services, subscriptions, all that. And I think also very tied to what we just saw with AI, there's so much expectation now that agencies have to elevate themselves and do more sophisticated websites. So some of the features that we're now going to be announcing are related to this area of making your websites more actionable. The first feature that we will show is an advanced form widget that allows you to add business logic into your forms and so forth. And in a second, I will ask Liron to come and present that. And the second capability that we're announcing today is Duda's own native booking solution that would allow you to create and maintain appointments on behalf of your customers. So I know both of these capabilities have been widely asked for. They have appeared in our idea board for a long time. And I'm glad to announce that these are going to be natively available through Duda. You do not need to go and pay a third party for those. You will be able to get all those from Duda. So starting with the first demo, I want to invite Liron Chorev to demo the advanced form widget.
Hi, Ty. Hi, everyone. Very excited to be here. I'll just share my screen in a second. Okay, so yeah, we are talking about the advanced form widget. And advanced form widget, as Itai said, is part of us continuing to provide you what you are asking for, what you need, and empowering you to create a beautiful, high converting website. So not only beautiful, also converting. And it's also us moving forward with the flexible approach. And what is the flexible approach? We are now developing a powerful design components by combining the flex elements that you all know. You all use Editor 2.0, of course, the sections and the columns in the inner columns. And we are streamlining design and enhancing the versatility that you can do with those containers. We already released 3 advanced widgets. One of them I know you all were very excited about, the mega menu, the accordion, and the tabs widget. And we see from the numbers yet, I can say that we met your expectation. I can say that you are using those advanced widgets to build the things that you need. Each widget is not similar to the other when we look at different sites. You are using different widgets in each advanced widget. So it's really cool to see that. And let's go back to our advanced form. So it's pretty easy to say, yeah, just by looking at Duda's idea board to see that more than 1K of you voted for us to build a better form. And this is actually what I'm going to demo today. So let's jump into the demo. So let's say that I'm an agency and I'm going to build a website to a company called Casa Luna. They have an event venue for weddings. I almost finished to design my site and now I want to add a form. So, I'll add a section and I'll delete one of the columns and now I'll add the form widget. But I'll choose the advanced form. Only by looking at the advanced form, you can already see that we have the advanced frame, we have steps, we have inner columns inside, and we have a new input, a new widget that is actually an input. Now, I want to build not a simple form. I want to ask for a lot of questions because I actually want to build a wedding planner. So I want a lot of information. I want to break it to 3 different sections, and I'll show you how to do it very easily and very beautifully with the advanced form. Let's start with changing the title. So I'll change it very easily, remove what is not necessary. And now I'm going to add an inner column. And I'm going to stretch it, add another inner column. I'm going to add here the text that I want for my first section. So it will be the couple information. The description. And now I'm going to add another inner column. And to this inner column, I am going to drag the fields that I already have. I'm going to duplicate the email, change the content. I want it to be a phone number. Cool. I'll just fix some spacing here. Good. Now I'm going to add a divider. I'm going to change the color. And I have my first section. Now I can duplicate the section, the inner column, move it down, change the text in the description. And now I'll go to take care of the fields, delete it, the fields that I don't need. I'll change the label. And here I want a bigger field, doing it very easily. Now I want to copy the divider to add another section. Move it down, copy the section, and adapt the fields, the title, the different fields. I'll change the content, of course. Now I'll remove the unnecessary fields that I have. And I want to make my button a little bit smaller. So I'll change the size of my button. Align it to the right. And the only thing that I need is to make it purple. So I'll just make it. Yeah. And I have a beautiful form with 3 steps. A divider in the middle, different fields, and a button in the end. But let's say that my couple, not all the couples wants to leave all this information, but I want them to keep in touch and know what is new and what I have to offer. So I want to have also a one-line form that will offer them to register to my newsletter. Let's see how I do that. So I'll add another section. Again, remove 1 column and add the advanced form. I'll change the title. Remove the unnecessary text and fields. I'll change the direction of the, and I'll add the button. Now I'll make sure the size is correct. change the content, and I want the field to be a little bit bigger. And some adjustment of the spacing, the background of my form, and this is it. Very simple. So I can build a very complex field with a form with 3 different sections, and I can create a very simple form only with one line of one field. Now, this is great because I have a lot of ways to design my contact form. But the advanced form is not only about contact form. We can take this ability and create different forms. For example, I can add a career page. And in this career page, I can use my form just to allow people to apply for a job. I can add another button, allow them to apply via LinkedIn, for example, choose the field that they want. And here I have this new option. I can also, for example, if I want to get a feedback or review, I can, and this is actually also a form, but the fields are the stars. So I can easily build a form that allow my customers leave a feedback or leave a review. But I know you all asking about multi-steps and logic. So let's look at the event page. You can see here a form that I already created. You can already see that this is a multi-step form. Why? Because the button is not saying submit, it's saying next. So let's see what will happen. Let's say that I'm going to get married this month, very soon. And I accept, I don't know, a little bit more than 100. Let's click on next. I have multiple steps. So this is the second step. I can go back, I can move to the next step. But the special thing that I have here in this step is the logic. You see only one question, but when I'll answer this question, I will get another question that is relevant to the answer I already gave. So let's say that I want a wedding experience of multi-day celebration. Now, the form is asking me about the budget range. If I would have choose other options, it would have changed the budget range according to the answer that I just gave. Let's say that I prefer not to discuss money right now. And let's click on next. And this is the final step, how we can see it, because the buttons automatically changed to back and submit. And this is the last step of the form. So we saw how we can easily build and design flexible contact forms, but we saw how this powerful advanced form allow us to use it for so many other use cases. Itai, back to you.
Liron, this is pretty amazing. I know a lot of people waited to see some of the features you showed here today. There was a question regarding the ability to accept payments within the forms. Can you elaborate on that?
Yeah, I can say that this is our future. So when we look at the next capabilities that we want to add to the form, we're talking about payments, we're talking about booking. We also build this form, the structure, in a way it will support many AI capabilities. So imagine, for example, that in the next few, in the future, you will be able to say which form you want, and we will be able to create an initial form that is relevant for your needs using AI. So pretty cool stuff. It's not only payments, but
yeah. Okay. Cool. And so from what we saw, from the features that we saw, when is the availability of that?
So hopefully we'll be able to release the first beta in the end of Q3. And we will continue to release more and more features until the end of the year and beyond that, as I said.
Okay, thank you so much, Liron.
Thank you.
And now for our last demo for today, I want to invite Jonathan to show us the new booking engine that his team has been working on. Hey,
Hi,
Jonathan.
Ty. How are you? Happy to be here today.
Yeah, well, take us away.
Okay, let's start by sharing the screen. Just want to make sure you can see it.
Yep, just came.
Great. So we're going to talk about native booking, the upcoming big feature from the e-commerce group in Duda. And we are going to do booking with all the good that Duda offers you today. This is going to be a native feature in Duda, the technology, the product, the UX, and the support, all made by Duda, which will allow you to achieve design flexibility. And we will see this in the demo. We will support free and paid booking. I think I saw this question come up in the chat. So for you to know, we will support taking payments for appointments. And I think one of the most interesting points is a full support for all the Duda workflows. Think of working with templates, with sections, with client management, APIs, all the wonderful things that you can do with AI and that we saw in the demo today. Think of booking becoming a natural part out of these. And we will going to have the first version available for you guys around September this year. So let's switch for a sneak peek into how it's actually going to work. So you can see here, this is my Duda editor, and this is a pretty straightforward website with a contact form to book the free assessment. So this is something a lot of SMBs do. You know, they have this way to generate lead and to create a first free assessment, but let's replace the contact form with a booking widget. So we just click booking, it will add the booking widget to the website. And for now, it's just a placeholder. So let's also install booking in the website. And in the background, this will create the first appointment type and the first user that can be booked time with. And you can see that already the widget takes the design of the website. So let's go to the back office and start managing the configuration. We have this placeholder staff member, a person that people can book time with. And you can see that each one of them has their own availability. They can set, let's say they don't work Wednesday or they end up early, so they can configure this. And here we can see the connecting to clients. You want to make sure that your clients, the people who work for this business, can log in, can access, and can see their appointments, and of course, do all the configurations. So this offers you a very easy way to connect them and will give them the relevant permissions in the background. So let's save that and go to see how we manage the appointment types. So the first one, we wanted to do a free assessment that the business offers potential clients. So let's change the name. Here as well. Let's keep it 30 minutes duration. And the location, you can see we support many different types of locations, which a location can be, you know, a video call, think of professional services like lawyers and others. But in this case, probably this cleaning services needs to go to the place of the customer. So we'll change it to custom attendee location. As I mentioned, we will allow to charge for appointments. I will not be able to show this today, but you can already see how it's going to look like. And let's save this and go back to the editor to see it live. So looking in the widget, I mentioned before it's getting the design theme of the website, but if for any reason I'm not happy with that, I can always switch to like a basic, more neutral design. But in this case, let's keep with the 21, and let's publish the website, and we'll go to see it live. So we are now on the home page, on the live site. We can see the booking widget. We can choose a time, add the details, and create a booking. And we will see a confirmation screen. And this data will be also sent via email to the business, to the relevant person in the back office, and to the person, to the customer, the attendee, the person who set up the meeting, including the options to reschedule or cancel the meeting. Let's head back to the back office and see some other configurations that we can have. So we can see that we have the appointment here already, and this is part of the back office. Let's create another type of appointment, which is now it's going to be the actual service, the cleaning. And let's give this like a longer time, something like 3 hours. And we create that. Again, the location would be the attendee location. And let's look into some of the scheduling options that we have. So assuming this is like a big operation, you usually need to drive there and drive back. So let's give this person a bit of a buffer, meaning that they need to have 60 minutes free time before and 45 minutes when they come back. And let's say that no one can schedule this like in 2 hours notice because the business needs to get ready for that. And you can see how many more features we have here to manage how this will be scheduled. Let's save this. Let's go and add this in the relevant place in the website. We already have the deep cleaning page. Again, here we have an old contact form, and we will remove it and add a booking form. You can actually remove the entire column here. We also less of a need now of the contact details because people can just book time with this business. So let's now add another booking widget. It will add it automatically to the canvas. And now we just need to select which type of appointment will be offered here. So let's go content, deep cleaning. Let's see it change and update with all the parameters, and we can publish it. But before we head to the live site to check, let's see another nice thing we have here. Let's say the business wants to know, okay, whether this is like an office or a house. They need to use this in order to know how to get themselves prepared. So let's add a question here. Make it a select. Call it location type. Same label. And this can be a home, an office. And let's make it a required question. And let's add another very interesting feature, which is requires confirmation. This means that the appointment is created as a pending one, and then the business needs to approve it. For these kind of services, this is very obvious. And again, if you wanted to chart, we would go here and do that. So let's head back to the website. Let's go to the deep cleaning page. And we can see the booking widget here. Let's just select the time. And we can see we have this question here that we added, which is mandatory. So last thing we want to show, let's go back to the site overview. And the reason I'm showing that is because just to remind you that with Duda's very strong permission mechanism, you will be able, as agencies, as partners, to give clients access, for example, only to the booking section and not to the website editor. If you don't want them to change the design, you want them just to go in here, especially, think of you have a clinic or a barber shop with multiple users, they don't need to go into the website. And when they go here, they can do a very interesting thing, like connect their personal calendars. Let's say they want all their meetings to appear in the Google Calendar, and they also want to make sure that if they have a wedding or something, and they block some time in the Google Calendar, they don't get new appointments on that time. So you can see we can do the connection, and here the booking will know to check for conflicts, and also to add all the events to this calendar so you can see them from the phone, share them, etc. So that's it for the demo. Back to you, Itai.
Thank you, Jonathan. Very, very cool. And I saw like there were questions here that were answered by the team. People were asking about integration of external calendars, and we will be supporting Outlook, Google Calendar, and Apple.
Correct.
Jonathan, when should people expect this to be available?
So around September this year.
Okay, that's great. And what will be the pricing of it?
So this will become part of our e-commerce plan, starting with $7 a month billed annually for a single team member, like we saw in the back office, and with more team members and more capabilities in the higher plans coming soon after the release.
Okay. Last question to you. How do you compare this to Calendly? I know a lot of comments there said, oh, I'm giving up Calendly, or where do the tools differ? Obviously, Calendly has been building their capabilities for a very long while.
Indeed, it's a good question. And I think we can point to three major benefits. First, I think the first thing we saw, how the widget is compatible with the site. It doesn't look like something that's not related to the site, to an external software. Everything is on brand. So that's one thing. Also think Core Web Vitals and loading time, everything comes from Duda, not from an external software. The second thing has to do with all the workflows we mentioned. Think of working with templates, working with API integration. Think of creating a custom template with appointment types to a vertical that you used to work with. Okay? And that can speed up the site creation, and then think of even further when we soon connect it with all the things Amir showed with the AI capabilities, how we can scale up agencies and partners' operation. And the last thing, and I think this is one of the major lessons that we saw from native e-commerce that led us to the decision to develop Duda Booking, is how easy it for SMBs and for the agencies to support them when they work inside one product with a unified UX. You don't need to tell your customers, yeah, this on this login of like my editor, but yeah, to configure the appointments, go to the Calendly login. Everything is in one place. Reduce setup time, reduce support tickets, and have a better life with Booking.
That's going to be super valuable. Thank you, Jonathan. Great demo. Really appreciate you showing us this. Okay, Anton, let's have the slides back. I know we are a little bit over time. I think we just need about 2 minutes to wrap this up. I did want to mention that all the features that we release in the past and everything new, that all the innovation that is coming out of Duda is always published on our product updates page. So go there, make yourself acquainted with that page if you haven't so. There's a lot of good material that is posted there. Awesome. So I feel like this is a wrap for today. From discovery to delivery, the agency of tomorrow needs to think about new tools, new thinking, having the right partner in place. And hopefully you choose Duda when that partner comes to mind. We're here to make sure that we're not just building amazing software, but we're making sure that you're enabled, not just for today, but for the future to come. So come talk to us, play around with the software that we just demoed, and let us know how we are doing. And thank you, everybody, for attending. It's going to be an awesome year. As you can see, we've leveraged AI in every way and shape possible. And there's still so much more that we want to build and release. So thank you, everyone, and have a good day.